I've been making these for 2 weeks and I can't stop. They're so addicting. Just grab some beads, any size, any color, grab some wire. 18 or 20 gauge is what I find works for me, but just take one set of wire and see if you can get it all done in one piece of wire. And so this is just 1 meter here that I'm rolling out of 18 gauge antique copper. It's basically 3 feet. And I'm just gonna start throwing these guys on. And I basically throw the bead on, lock it in by wrapping it once around with one of the wires, and then throw another bead on and lock that in a little further down on the wire. I've been trying to keep them about 1 inch or less apart, but this time I'm just gonna do whatever. I'm just gonna not try to make any particular pattern or shape or anything. Just have fun with it. So this is the pattern I've been kind of getting. It's 1 big one in the middle and then 2 coming up each side. But I'm just gonna go a little nuttier with this. Just kind of bend these any which way. And then at this point, I kind of bend the wires up to the top and then I make a loop to start. It's gonna be the top loop probably, but you can always change it up halfway if you decide something different. And lock it in like this. And wrapping it around once. And then just try to see where the wire wants to go. And just kind of go from there. So wrapping it around and around strengthens it and also makes interesting designs. So you're just trying to strengthen it and make interesting patterns at the same time. Ooh. See, this keeps falling out of shape. Usually I make it tighter, so this will turn it 1 more turn around, so it'll lock it in a little better. There we go. All right, where are we? We were coming up with this guy. Hey, Daxi. I'll put that through there. I'm going to bend it up that way. That looks better, yeah. Sometimes you can tell when you're fighting the wire, and other times you can tell when you're flowing with it, and it's better to flow with it if possible. Sometimes you got to tell the wire who's in charge because you have to have a certain part go a certain way. But other times you'll find you have freedom and you can just be like, hey, let's have fun with this. So I'm coiling this around here now. And the idea is, at some point you can wrap it back around the top loop. And then you can tuck in the sharp end. This is fun because a lot of it you can do with your fingers. You don't even need the pliers until you get to the part where you have to like tuck or do something with the wire in a really tight way. So this is good. It's kind of strong. It's a little wobbly in places, but the basic structure is good. It looks very hippie and weird. I'm going to take this and roll it into a spiral because that's another way you can end. The 2 ways I like to end it most is to either tuck it into the wrap around the top loop or make a spiral and just shove the spiral somewhere where it's not going to catch on anything. So in this case, I'll just put the spiral right at the top, make it easy. So that's fun. It adds like another extra little fun thing. Now, let's be honest though, is this How flimsy is it? Like, you don't want to sell your jewelry to people where it's, it's the hug test, basically. If they're going to wear it on their neck and they're going to hug some aggressive people, is there a chance somebody's button is going to get caught on something and something can get yanked? And if you could grab this with your fingers and with very little pressure, just move the whole thing out of shape, that's generally not strong enough for my liking. So even though I said one wire, I said try one wire. We're going to add another piece of wire and strengthen this up some. And try not to make it too busy, and try to add to the character at the same time. So here's about another 14 inches. And I'm going to, again, start it. I'm not going to start in the middle because I want one side to have a little more ability to move around. Let's start it in the middle. I think I'm going to go double with these guys, make it interesting. So we're going to wrap around this, what I call the scarf at the top. Once around should usually be good. Twice if you feel like it's still wobbly. And then I'm going to take these guys and twist them so that they're really locked in together. And I'm going to start doing this double strand coming down. Let's see. Let's make it come down in between these two. All right, we'll separate it now, and got to give it some more strength. Let's find out where the weak parts are. Well, there's definitely a weak part up in here, so I'm gonna thread this through here. And this is the part where the wire could fight me, but I'm going to ease it in gently because I don't want to fight with the wire. I'm just going to roll it. Roll it. Roll it, pull it back, roll it, pull it back. Then I'm going to grab it real tight and pull it in real tight because I want to lock that part right there. That's when you lock parts like that, that's generally how you get more. See, now that's not bouncing around like it was before. I'm going to mirror this bottom loop with an extra one here, and come back up like that. Let's see, where do I want to put it? I'm running out of wire again, but everything's a lot stronger now, so I'm happy. I think I'm going to lock it in that same place, maybe, or can I lock it somewhere better? How's this side looking? That's pretty strong. That's strong. That's strong. Yeah, I think I'm going to lock it right there. All right. Now, believe it or not, it's all fun now, but this, now I made my new loop is flimsy. So let's take what's left of this wire and come in here and see if we can strengthen that somehow, that new loop. Oh, this is kind of weird. This might work. This is a gamble, or it might come out really messy. I'm gonna try to thread it around and around with this one. And so far it looks okay. Sometimes you just got to get out of your head and just grab some beads and grab a wire and just start making something, and don't judge yourself and just keep moving with it. Look how weird this thing looks. Look how asymmetrical. It looks like a whole bunch of nonsense, and I'm still moving with it, and I'm still making something, and it's going to be way more interesting than tons of jewelry that people buy today at high-end stores and pay a ton of money for, and it's just boring as boring can be. None of it's going to be this cool. Now, am I teetering on the edge of just crazy hippieville where I'm deluding myself into what actually looks nice? Maybe, but that's okay. That's a trip you can take sometimes. You need to have fun. You need to allow yourself to mess up. So I'm coming all the way to the end of this wire, which is dangerous because you want to leave yourself a little bit of wire to tuck. But I'm saying, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to tuck in the tiniest little bit into one loop right here. Just one loop to end it. And I'm just going to flatten that loop and kind of move it right there where it's not going to get yanked out of place by anything anytime soon. Just make sure the sharp end is not going to pop out and scratch someone. And I'll make it a little more of a spiral. We'll go a little bit more into tucking that, because I definitely, no matter how hippie you get, you definitely don't want to get into the land of sharp ends sticking out. That is not a place you want to live. Doesn't matter how hippie and cool your stuff is. If it scratches someone, it's the end of the game. Then you have lawsuits and you have settlements, and and you're standing before a judge being like, but I thought it looked hippie and cool. I didn't know it was going to draw blood. I didn't know that Mrs. Peterson was going to end up with a small cut on her finger that was going to ruin her day, and then she was going to lose that account for her company. All because of my jewelry. And the judge will say, guilty. All right, we'll leave this one out for now. This one is too straight and boring for me because everything's going weird and crazy. And this one is just too straight. So here's another thing you can do is crimping. Crimping can be fun. It tightens everything, it pulls everything tighter, and it turns stuff into like, what's it called? Zigzags, like lightning bolts. So I just did that one crimp, it pulled everything in, and I kind of like it better. It strengthened it too. Crimping can really strengthen things. That kind of looks cool from the back side. Oh wait, that was the front. I forget which was the front now. How about that? I'm thinking, I don't like this as much as I want, and I flipped it over, and I liked it better, because this was supposed to be the front. Look at that. That's wild. So actually, the front was the one I was working on making pretty anyway. I'm really liking it now that I flipped it over. Okay. So, I'm going to crimp this little guy in a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. And sometimes you can hide your crimp so it doesn't show. Okay, this one's going to be a spiral again. And I think we're done. I'm sitting here blabbing while in the back of my mind I'm thinking, this thing is getting a little uglier than I wanted. But I was looking at the back side the whole time. Now, for all my luck, I'm going to give it or sell it to someone, and they're going to wear it backwards. And they're going to show the ugly side the whole time. And they're going to think it's awesome. That's okay. All right, got that cute little spiral. We're just going to stick it right in there. It's a good place for it. You can stick a spiral. A spiral can be used like this, a little spiral sticking out. You can use it to hide imperfections. You can use it to fill in an empty space. You can just use it to have a funky, different thing going on. All right, this is fun. I am enjoying this. Still a few wires here, not as strong as I would like. That one can be strengthened with another crimp without having to lose anything on the front, I bet. Let's see. Yep, much stronger now. Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling this. This is fun. It's funky. It's kind of steampunk. I like it. Let's give it to someone. Who would like it? Anybody want it? Maybe I'll put it tonight for the half. Come to the half price Etsy show tonight and be making all kinds of pieces, selling them $25 pieces for just 10, which is less than half price. But maybe I'll throw this one up for some low, reasonable price, hopefully. All right, see you guys soon. Take care.